All right, peace and blessings. Friday, February 9th, 2018. I got a letter here, email from a guy who goes by the name of Texas Mike. You can call it a warning email or a threatening email, whatever you want to call it. He's threatening to report Sue Holland and also to report my YouTube channel. You know, I have a lot of trolls. I have a lot of haters that report me constantly. I'm constantly under strikes, penalties, suppression, haters. I mean, it just, but he claims that, Texas Mike, you claim that your main focus is the welfare of the child that was involved in the incident with Sue Holland. I highly doubt that's the case. Let's just put all our cards on the table, Texas Mike. I don't think I like you very much based on what I know of you, and I suspect you don't like me. You put forth this story as you're trying to strong arm me or threaten me. You claim your primary concern is the welfare for the child. I highly suspect you're the type of person who supports abortion, so I don't think your primary concern is the welfare of the child. I think your primary concern is power and control over others, and you think you found some sort of incident here where you can stick your busybody nose into something and control somebody's actions. And but I'm going to read your letter. I've changed the name of the actual minor so that the name of the actual minor will not be stated. And I will respond to your email after I read it publicly. But I don't do things in the dark. I don't respond to strong arm warnings or strong arm threats in the dark. Let's just put everything on the table and let's let everyone see what's going on. So Texas Mike writes me on January the 22nd. I should also say I do not recall this message on January the 22nd. I get hundreds of emails every day, and I try to keep up with them, but it's hard for me to do so, and I didn't notice this until today. So here goes. Hi, Rudy. My name is Mike, and I'm from Austin, Texas. I have been watching your videos since your campaign to release Ken Hovind, and while if we ever met, we would be unlikely to see eye to eye on very much, I do think others could learn a lot from your passion and dedication to the causes you support. I also agree that the American criminal justice system is failing this country in ways we are only beginning to understand. Anyway, I have a very specific reason for contacting you today. Your conversations with Sue Holland, in which she identifies the Canadian First Nations child Jane Doe. Obviously, Jane Doe, I changed the name. Texas Mike actually used the real name in his email to me. Let me also say this, that I heard, whether it's true or not, I cannot confirm, that this girl went to a foster home and they claimed that because she was wanting to accept Jesus Christ and believe in creationism, that she was caught up in this cult of Christianity. So they stuck her with some atheist foster parents, and I heard that she got pregnant at 12 years old from the foster parent. Now, I don't know if that's true. I would like to confirm if it's true or not. And so I heard this girl wanted to accept Jesus Christ, but they would not let her, be with her family, and that she was constantly running away from home to get away from her foster parents. And the same thing that Schaefer was doing in Alaska, because there are pedophiles that are part of government that are trying to take control of the Alaskan Native children. I believe the same thing is going on with the Canadian First Nations children, as well as with American Indians children, and you name it. I mean, there is a lot of systematic pedophilia going on in this country under the guise of government institutions. So let's continue to read. Your conversations with Sue Holland, in which she identifies the Canadian First Nations child Jane Doe as the girl caught up in the case brought against her by the Canadian authorities several years ago. Miss Holland said in your phone call that the court had placed a publication ban on Jane's identity, a move often taken by the courts in the U.S. and Canada to protect the identity of minors who are witnesses or victims in criminal cases. Miss Holland went on to say that she unilaterally decided the publication ban was unnecessary and that she was free to tell you her name, but of course, Miss Holland has no such power under Canadian law to lift the court order banning publication. Her claim to be a Supreme Court justice are nonsense. That's his opinion. That's Texas Mike's opinion. I claim that the entire judicial system in Canada and the United States, that their legitimacy is nonsense, and they're all minions of Satan, and they're baby killing wicked doers who are on a fast train to hell. The only parties capable of lifting a reporting ban are the court that imposed it and Jane Doe herself once she turns 18. Therefore, by publishing your phone call with Miss Holland and revealing Jane's name, you are both in breach of Canadian law. Now, I doubt you have little to fear all the way down here in Texas, though your YouTube channel might be at risk. But if the authorities find out that Miss Holland has been talking about Jane by name and in public, she may find herself facing additional charges on top of those she already faces. If one of your viewers tries to reach out to Jane as a result of this video, that could easily happen. My only concern here is for Jane. Hey, Texas Mike, I kind of doubt that statement there. I kind of doubt it. I think you believe it, but I think there's something else going on in your mindset other than concern for Jane. In spite of Miss Holland's dark insinuations that she might have been killed, she is still very much alive and she is only 15 years old. Not only that, but if you Google Jane Doe and RCMP, you will find that she's run away from home on no fewer than 5 occasions, including from summer camp in the last 4 years, triggering a police alert each time because she's a diabetic and requires several shots of insulin every day. She's a troubled teen and health issues and has lived in at least 3 different care homes over the last 4 years. And the last thing she needs is a random stranger trying to contact her about a case that is long in her past. It sounds like she needs good, godly parents or good, godly folks that are willing to provide her motherly and fatherly protection. No matter what you might think of Child Protective Services, well, I think they're satanic, Mike. I really do. Here or in British Columbia, none of us, including Miss Holland, is in any position to determine what's best for Jane now. She now lives in hundreds of miles away from Williams Lake, Miss Holland's hometown, and does not deserve to be dragged into the legal mess Miss Holland now finds herself in. Proving the charges brought against her in relation to Jane were bogus is not going to help her beat the kidnapping charges she now faces in relation to Mike Parsons. Therefore, I will ask that you leave Jane's name out of your conversations with Miss Holland and tell her that while she can talk about the case, she should not mention the girl by name. I would also ask that you remove all reference to Jane Doe from the videos you have already posted. Leave the girl to get on with her own life. She's having a hard enough time as it is without people like Miss Holland trying to drag her back into an affair that happened years ago and hundreds of miles away. If you can't do that out of respect for the legal process in Canada, then do it for Jane and for Miss Holland. Eliminate the risk that she'll be charged with contempt of court for breaching a publication ban. It's the right thing to do. Thank you for taking the time to read this email. Yours sincerely, Mike. So that was sent on January the 22nd. I must have missed it. This email came in today. It's much more of a warning. I guess he's going to turn up the strong arm procedure on me. Hi, Rudy. I see you decided to ignore my last email and have allowed Susan Holland to once again identify the minor involved in her court case in a new video. I'm sorry, but this is not acceptable. You could well be putting Jane Doe's well-being at risk, and you have no her well-being. Her well-being would be best served by putting her under the parentage of good godly parents that believe in creationism, believe in Jesus Christ, which it sounds like was trying to be done, but the Child Protective Services considered against that and stuck her with an atheist. I'm sorry, but this is not acceptable. You could well be putting Jane Doe's well-being at risk, and you have no right to drag this girl into Miss Holland's delusional conspiracy theories. He says you could well be putting Jane Doe's well-being at risk. So now it's me that's putting Jane Doe's well-being at risk. First of all, I don't censor prisoners, and I don't think I've done anything that puts Jane Doe's well-being at risk. You may try to lay some guilt trip on me, Texas Mike, but you sound just like one of these busybodies the Bible talks about. I mean, it's just, I guarantee you're one of these guys who supports abortion, and you claim that you have a welfare of the child at heart, and now you're trying to lay blame at my feet because I take a phone call from a prisoner. But I am going to respond to your request. Just let me read your email and I'll give you a full response. So if a request is not enough for you to see sense, then perhaps a warning will be. Well, that sounds like you liberals. If you don't remove the videos that mention Jane Doe by name from your channel and tell Miss Holland you will no longer allow her to repeat her name online, then I will report. Okay, that sounds like a snitch. You wouldn't be related to Bill Fulton, would you? Because, you know, we got a lot of snitches going on. I will report Susan Holland's breach of publication ban to the authorities in British Columbia and provide them with the links to those videos. I don't know what they will do with that information, but you may find yourself with 2 more strikes against your YouTube channel and banned from contacting Miss Holland ever again. Your actions are also putting Miss Holland in further jeopardy, since she could well be punished for her willful breach of the court's publication ban. I can't tell you how many times that people have tried to blame me when a prisoner calls me and they say whatever the prisoner wants to say, that people have said that I have did a disservice to the prisoner by giving them the freedom of speech to say what they want to say. And they'll try to lay the blame at my feet. How about people are responsible for what words come out of their own mouth, as opposed to blaming me, who's trying to bring attention to the unjust incarceration of certain political prisoners, of which I believe Sue Holland is one of. I really don't want to have to do this. I bet you don't, Mike. I bet you're going to take no pleasure in it whatsoever as you just, as your fingers dial the phone number to report me. I bet you just don't take enjoyment out of it at all. Even though I think you're being hopelessly naive about the past actions of some of the prisoners you support, the example, the Montana Freeman's crimes were not victimless. They scammed millions of dollars out of hundreds of people, many of whom were poor farmers. I doubt that's the case. Highly doubt that's the case. They did try to get away from a government money system, which is very similar to what this fiat currency Bitcoin is trying to do. You know, if somebody wants to develop their own money system outside of the Federal Reserve, I can't think of a better activity to get involved in, actually. The Federal Reserve is the most evil institution on the face of the planet, and the fiat money that they use powers and is the root of all the evil agendas that go on in this planet. So we highly and strongly disagree on Russell Landers and the Montana Freeman. I guess you would be one of the folks that would have tortured and killed. Who's the Montana Freeman that got tortured and killed in prison? Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. You know, I might be. Somebody said I'm using these. There's powder on these envelopes that I open. It's messing up my memory. It's not Russell Landers. There was it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's a very famous Montana Freeman, and he was very, very good at the law, and they tortured him, killed him into prison, but I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I know Daryl's going to remind me, but his name always escapes me. Let's continue to read Texas Mike's email here. I have no desire to interfere with your passion for helping these people. Oh, I bet you don't. I bet you don't desire to stop me whatsoever. I bet when my YouTube channel gets taken off the air, you'll shed some tears. I bet you will, Mike. However, I am not going to stand by and let you deliberately put a minor in harm's way. You're one of the folks who probably would have voted to take her away from the Christian parents and put her in the hands of the atheist parents, when you could so easily prevent it. No, it's not easily. Okay, hold on. I'm going to respond to this, Mike. I'm going to read the rest of your email, but I could easily prevent it. That's not true. Remove or just edit the videos, and there will be no more record of Jane Doe in relation to Miss Holland's case. That really isn't much to ask. It is a little bit. I'm going to explain to you why. I will wait a few days. So he's giving me this ultimatum. He's threatening me, warning me, and then he's giving me an ultimatum to do what he says or else. He's going to take my YouTube channel down. He's going to report me to the Canadian authorities. I will wait for a few days for you to remove the videos in question, but if you post yet another video with the girl's name in it, I will contact the authorities immediately. Yours sincerely, Texas Mike. Okay, Mike, you've sat in the background and you've threatened me, and you know you're trying to control my behavior, and you want me to give an ultimatum to Sue Holland next time she calls. I'll tell you what, I'm not an advocate for saying this girl's name since she is a minor. I do agree with that aspect of Texas Mike's position. So I will not say the name of the minor. And a matter of fact, you can tell that I agree with that because I changed the name. The name is obviously not Jane Doe. But it's not an easy thing for me to go back and to change the videos that Texas Mike is referencing. And you say, well, why can't you just go change those videos? Well, first of all, I have over 8,000, 9,000 videos. I've taken, how many videos have I taken from Mike Parsons over the past few months? How many videos have I taken from Sue Holland? How many phone calls do I take from prisoners in general that never even get published on YouTube? And so, you know what, Texas Mike, it might be hard for you to imagine, but I have no idea what videos you're talking about. So if you can give me the specific links to the videos, and if you can give me specific timestamps of where this girl's name was mentioned, I will, to the best of my ability, edit her name out of the videos as I get time. I'm not going to say I'll have it done tomorrow or have it done next day. I got a lot of things going on, Mike. I just don't sit around and play YouTube games all day long, right? But if you can tell me the specific videos that are troubling you so much about your desire about, you know, to help the welfare of this young girl, which I'm sure just you stay up late at night troubled about this young girl. And if you can give me the links to the videos and the timestamps, I will, to the best of my ability, as I have time, take down those videos and edit her name out with the timestamps you provide and re-upload those videos. So that's my response. I'm willing to do it, but I'm not going to go back and listen to hours and hours of videos trying to figure out which ones you think, transgressed some rule. If somebody can point out to me specifically with timestamps, I'll do my best. So that's my response, Texas Mike. I really don't like you, as you probably have gathered. I can tell you're the sort of person who I wouldn't get along with one little bit. But anyway, it is what it is. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.